WCNC TV, Charlotte. Live from News Channel 36, this is Charlotte Today with your hosts Colleen Odegaard and Rob Tanner. Featuring Davy Sutton. We're all about the people, places, and events that shape the Queen City. We'll show you how to make your life easier, save you money, and you'll meet interesting and surprising people who have something to say. This is Charlotte Today.
Well, hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on Charlotte Today this Thursday morning. I'm Colleen Odegaard.
And I am Rob Tanner.
We are so glad you're here for this special edition of Charlotte Today. We're calling it Charlotte Today Has Heart. Charlotte Today Has Heart. We are dedicating this whole hour to the issue of heart disease with the help of our good friends at Frye Regional Medical Center in Hickory. Our thanks to them for making this happen today. Heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women. You've heard us talk about it here before. That's why knowing the signs of a heart attack, knowing what to do in case of one, and more importantly, how to prevent it are so important.
Very important. Very, very important.
We need to take a moment to mention Dick Clark. By now, you've heard the news that Dick Clark passed away. It was a heart attack that killed Dick Clark. He was 82 years old.
Such memories of Dick Clark that I have. I remember him having Madonna on his show on American Bandstand. Show started in Philadelphia, and then when it went national, Dick Clark said they gave it just seven episodes national. They figured they'd see if it would work. 4 episodes in, it was the #1 daytime TV show across the nation back in 1957.
He had a great life. I mean, he did everything there is to do in this business. And he was just great.
He certainly did.
Yes.
He certainly did. He certainly will be missed. Dick Clark passes away at the age of 82. Well, if you Google the word heart disease, hundreds of entries, of course, are going to come up. So much information out there that we wanted to help you boil down some of the most important aspects. Hopefully, we'll learn a little something in this next hour, and you could save someone you know their life or even help yourself.
That's right. Producer Bob is going to start us off with a little test. Producer Bob has a little test for us. He's going to ask us some questions. And
all right.
Here's Bob. First, want to thank Clean Slate. It's almost like we're a real TV show with these paddles. Right? Isn't that cool?
Look at them.
We like this. Clean Slate. That's KLEEN slate.com. They come with a little towel, and love these. We need to use these more often.
These are nice paddles right here.
We like
I
them.
like them.
Almost like we're a real TV show. Okay, hi, Bob.
Hi, how's it going?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
All right, let's get to this.
All right. So we're going to write our answers on here.
You're going to write your answer on there.
Don't look at
I
mine.
won't look at yours. I
no
won't.
cheating.
Okay.
All right. Just 1 serving of this can increase your risk of stroke or heart attack by 43%. Is it A, cheesecake, B, bacon, or C, Diet Coke?
And reveal?
Reveal. And what did you all say?
B,
I say
bacon.
I say A. It's going to be a slice of cheesecake.
You're both wrong.
What?
It's C, Diet Coke.
No,
A can
stop
of Diet
it.
Coke. No, I'm not going to stop it. I know, it's
Wow.
killing me too, brother.
Oh, my God.
That's surprising
That
to
is
me.
very
Okay, I
surprising.
thought for sure I was right. All right.
All right. Question number 2. Too much sodium is a known risk factor for high blood pressure, which increases your risk of having a heart attack or stroke. How much sodium should you have a day? A, 800 milligrams, B, 1,200 milligrams, or C, 2,000 milligrams?
I'm not sure. I'm completely guessing here. I'm going with B.
I went with B.
And you both guessed correctly.
There you go.
Okay.
We're
Right
tied up right now.
1,200 milligrams.
1,200 milligrams.
1,200
Okay.
milligrams.
Okay.
That's hard to do. Okay.
So, last question. You are twice as likely to have a stroke or heart attack if you, A, get less than 6 hours of sleep a night, B, exercise less than 2 times a week, or C, drive in rush hour traffic.
I'm going with A.
I'm going to say B.
Tanner, you're wrong. Colleen is right.
Of course I am.
So far with
Sleep.
the
You
answers
need
to all
that
these,
sleep.
I'm surprised I'm here right now.
Right on.
I drink Diet Coke, I get less than 6 hours of sleep.
know.
And I take in a lot of sodium.
Well, in all seriousness, it might be time for some lifestyle changes
Absolutely.
for you, Bob Tanner.
That's
Bob,
why
thank you.
Thank you, Bob. I'm looking forward to this show. I know we got doctors out there right now from Frye Regional going, whew, that boy needs some help.
But really, because you do drink a lot of Diet Coke,
I do.
you don't sleep very much. You sleep kind of in shifts,
Yeah,
right?
because of the radio show and the TV show, so in shifts. So hopefully I'll get something out of this. I know I will. It will help me.
I'm telling you, I'm very intrigued by our cooking segment today. I love heart-healthy recipes because I think there's so much that you can do with your diet.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's very important. And to also coming up in this hour, talking about the 5 heart-healthy foods. That's coming up. Okay, so one of the things that we hope you take away from this hour is that a heart disease diagnosis doesn't have to be life-ending. And a North Carolina man is actually on a mission to prove that.
Yes, he is. He's walking across the country hoping to inspire people to make positive changes to their lifestyle. Our photographers caught up with 64-year-old Colin Terrell when he walked through Charlotte last month.
Colin joins us by phone right now. He's in Chelsea, Alabama. Good morning to you, sir. Thanks for talking with us today.
Good morning, Colleen. How are you doing today?
Just fine, thank you so much. Okay, so you had a heart attack in 2009. You are now doing well. You've decided to go on this walk across the country. Tell us why this was important to you.
Well, lots of things came together for me. I had a stressful job as a banker, you can imagine, in today's economy. My retirement was coming up. I was lucky to be alive, and doctors saved me from after I had a heart attack and 5 bypass surgery. So I wanted to do something to encourage others, and the two known elements other than the sleep that you just mentioned that are necessary are a healthy diet and a regular exercise program. So I wanted to show heart attack survivors that there was life after a heart attack, and I wanted to encourage others to get on a regular exercise program.
Oh, Colin, you are so inspiring. That is great. How are you doing now? How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. Get a little tired. I had a big day yesterday, walking 27 miles yesterday, and I'm 900 miles into a 3,000-mile trip and enjoying every step of it. Just get a little tired once in a while.
I'm sure. Quickly, let us know, are you on schedule? You're hoping to make it to the Santa Monica Pier in California by September. You on schedule right now?
I am just slightly ahead of schedule. Weather seems to be the big determinant. I don't walk in heavy rain, but I walk in every other kind of environment. So I am just a little ahead of schedule right now.
Okay, Colin, thank you so much for talking with us today. God bless you, and you really are inspiring. Thank you so much for what you're doing to bring attention and awareness to heart disease.
Keep going, Colin. Thank you.
To hear more about Colin's survival story and to get the latest information on his walk, you can visit his website. It's hearttrekusa.com, hearttrekusa.com. Good for him.
Throughout the show, we're going to have a lot of experts here. They're going to want to make sure that they cover as much information as they possibly can. So if you have any heart-related questions, we'd like to have them. Just let us know on Facebook, or you can email us at charlottetoday@wcnc.com. We'll try to get them answered for you.
Very good. Okay, well, coming up this morning, there's more than chest pain to signify a heart attack. A doctor tells us all the signs that we should know.
And we're cooking heart-healthy dinner in the kitchen today, a mahi-mahi fish tacos with a basil tartar sauce.
And coming up later,
I still think sometimes I can pinch myself and I'll wake up because it just doesn't seem logical for a 33-year-old who's fairly active to have a heart attack.
What this man did that saved his own life could save yours.
Plus, studies show red wine and chocolate could be good for your heart, but are they the best things? Find out the 5 best heart-healthy foods.
Keep it here for Charlotte Today Has Heart.
Let it all go now.
Addicted to food or nicotine?
I can go right into that subconscious, like a hard drive on a computer, and I can put in positive emotions instead of that habit.
All new on The Doctors.
The Doctors, today at 2 on News Channel 36.
I was the one driving, and suddenly there were 2 headlights in front of us, and his car came at us, and our vehicles hit.
Callie had serious injuries, and she needed our help.
I was in the hospital for 5 days. I had 2 surgeries, one on my femur and one on my arm. My family and I were worried about the medical bills just from the standpoint that my dad was also going through the same thing because he had also been in the car accident. We did a lot of phone calls to other lawyers in the area, got a lot of paperwork from other lawyers, and DeMayo just stood out to us. And it was just the right decision to let an experienced lawyer take on our cases and not try and handle it ourselves through the insurance company.
The law offices of Michael A. DeMayo. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
Hiring DeMayo to do this for us was a great decision.
My mother was injured. She's no longer able to work. She applied for Social Security disability, and they turned her down. Now what?
The key to applying for and receiving Social Security disability benefits is making sure that the Social Security Administration understands your claim fully. We believe in the rights of injured Americans, and we'll fight for your rights. There are right ways and wrong ways to apply for a disability claim. Let us help you. Call me, Dr. Ted Grieve, at 1-800-MY-DR-TED.
At News Channel 36, when we say we're looking out for you, we really mean it. Who doesn't like to save a little money? Dion Lim has saved shoppers thousands in cash with Dion's daily deals. News Channel 36 gets results because we're looking out for you.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, heart disease is the leading cause of death for both men and women.
In fact, in 2008, heart disease was responsible for almost 1 in 4 deaths. So we want to start this special hour by setting the foundation with Dr. Steve Isserman, a cardiologist at Frye Regional Medical Center in Hickory. Welcome, sir. Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
We're glad you're here. So let's talk about this whole thing. First of all, I think we need to explain to everybody what is heart disease.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the heart is a very complicated organ. But when people talk about heart disease, they're thinking about heart attacks. Why? Well, it's the #1 killer of Americans. And even in Europe now, it's becoming #1, or it may be #1 now. In some ways, this can be a preventable disease, so we need to learn as much about it as we can and let our audience know what they can do to reduce their risk. 500,000 people will die this year of heart attack. It's going to cost $100 billion.
I know the numbers really are scary, Dr. Isserman. Okay, so that being said, what can people do? What can they control to decrease the risk of heart disease?
Right. Well, there are certain risk factors that we should all know about. Now, some of these risk factors you can modify. Some of them you can't. But let me just run through some of the major risk factors. Well, #1, smoking. We all know it's a no-brainer. Cigarette smoking is probably the worst thing you can do to your body.
I can't believe we're still talking about that. I can't believe that. I'm always flabbergasted when I see people still smoking, knowing what we know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so stop it.
Yeah, I mean, so many organs are damaged. It's not just the heart, lungs, strokes. It's very hard to quit. I mean, I have a lot of patients who want to quit. They try. It's difficult. You have to work with your family doctor. You have to want to quit.
Right.
You have to understand that you're hurting yourself and your family. If they're getting secondhand smoke, you're hurting them as well. Yeah. So it's very important.
Okay, so smoking 1.
Smoking #1. Diabetes. Diabetes is such a common disease. People with high sugars have a much higher risk. Diabetics have a 4 times higher risk of having a heart attack than someone who doesn't have diabetes. What you have to do is really watch your diet, control your sugars, check your sugars frequently, and really be on top of it. If you can control your sugars, you can reduce your risk. So that's critical.
Okay. Control your sugars. All right, go ahead.
High blood pressure. That's another epidemic, critically important. If you can get your blood pressure down, you're going to do better. Sometimes it takes 1 medication, sometimes it takes more. I tell my patients, don't be frustrated. It may take us 3 drugs to do this. It's worth it, so stick with it.
When we talk about symptoms of heart attacks, Dr. Isserman, most people know that chest pain is a symptom. But in a survey from the Centers for Disease Control, only 27% of people were aware of all the major symptoms. So I want to go ahead and look at the rest of the signs. We put them here on your screen. Chest discomfort, shortness of breath, profuse sweating, nausea, and vomiting. As we look at those symptoms, can you tell us symptoms for men and women, are they different?
Well, first of all, those 4 are the classic symptoms that we all need to know about. If there's one thing to take home from this broadcast, know those 4 things.
Okay.
Chest pain. It can present different ways. Most common, centrally located, pressure. Sometimes radiates into the neck or the jaw. Patients may say, feels like an elephant sitting on my chest. Now, associated with that pain, you could have nausea, vomiting, shortness of breath, and drenching sweats. So those are the classic symptoms, and men and women can get those symptoms. Now, women, it's a little more complicated. Women often have what we call atypical symptoms. It could be generalized fatigue. It could be just feeling of anxiety, lack of energy, pain in the abdomen, not even in the chest. So you have to keep those in mind. But don't forget about the 4 classic symptoms first.
Very important. I hope everybody got that. Coming up a little bit later, we'll talk specifically about what to do if you think that you're having a heart attack. That is coming up in the hour. But in the meantime, one of our Facebook friends, her name is Deirdre. Deirdre wants to know if there are any routine tests to determine if you have heart disease or reduce your risk for heart attack.
Right, and this is a terrific question, yes. And they're simple tests. These are tests you're going to have at your family doctor's office. Blood pressure check every time, simple. An EKG, they put little sticky things on, they measure electrical flow in the heart. Once a year, you should have that done. and blood test for cholesterol and to rule out diabetes. Those are the classic tests that you should have and follow. Now, there are fancier tests that are available. If you're not having symptoms, you really do not need to rush out and get a stress test and get some fancy CAT scan. It's basically symptoms. If you're having symptoms that are concerning for a blockage, you're going to want to have a stress test, either an exercise on a treadmill stress test or a chemical stress test.
Very good.
Dr. Iserman, thank you so much. Great information. A
Appreciate
pleasure
it.
to have you here.
Thank you.
Still ahead this morning on Charlotte Today, can you have sex after a heart attack? We'll find out. Maybe not like right the second after your heart attack.
Exactly.
We'll talk more about that coming up in just a moment.
And we're making grilled mahi-mahi tacos with the basil tartar sauce. Chef Matthew Miller is going to share a little tip about the tortillas.
Washer dryer, the latest. Steam press, Samsung, efficient. Whirlpool, quiet. Maytag, capacity. LG, economical. HH Gregg.
Life's better when you get the right help. Earth Day is here. Let HH Gregg help you get the efficiency of Energy Star appliances at up to 20% off. The newest brands, the latest technology. Up to 20% off appliances store-wide.
Delivered and installed.
HH Gregg at hhgregg.com. We help.
Daytona Beach is more than a beach. It's your widest smile in years. Visit wowdaytonabeach.com.
Tonight, The Office is new. You're not the manager. With an epic meltdown where the Andy hits the fan.
There's a lot coming up all at once. Dad, I'm taller than you.
New Office followed by the big return of Parks and Rec.
Non-stop thrill ride.
Tonight, here on NBC.
Show me your hand.
It was blood money.
When it comes to updating and furnishing your home, Black Lion has it all. Whether you need just one special item to complete the job, furniture and accessories for an entire room, or just great decorating and gift ideas, Black Lion is your one-stop destination. Since 1996, our talented merchants have presented the Charlotte area's best collection of furniture, home accents, draperies, gifts, mirrors, art, and more. Come prowl the aisles for a unique shopping experience and unbelievable prices. Visit Black Lion in South Charlotte, Dilworth, and Huntersville.
Daytona Beach is more than a beach. It's your widest smile in years. Visit wowdaytonabeach.com.
A healthy diet is one of the best things you can do to protect your heart, but that doesn't mean you have to eat only boring food. We're cooking mahi-mahi fish tacos with a basil tartar sauce today with Matthew Miller, who is the owner of Bistro 127 in Hickory. Hi, Matthew.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Glad you're here today. Heart healthy, the fish tacos is the favorite item you have there, huh?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So start off today, we'll get the condiments ready. This is something generally you want to do a day ahead of time. We're going to do pickled onions. I like to use sweet Vidalia onions. I love zest of all sorts of fruit. So just zest, potato peeler, zest that, put it in with your red wine vinegar. You're going to take your lime, you want to squeeze that lime juice in there too.
Okay.
Add that flavor. I like sweet Vidalia onions.
Oh, those are fantastic.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And you just want to let that set fully covered in the refrigerator for a day, up to 3-4 days.
Oh, you can let it sit there and soak it all up there.
Get it done ahead of time. Over here, we're going to do our basil tartar sauce. Now, everybody knows what tartar sauce is. Most people use, relish and mayonnaise. We're using low-fat mayonnaise, heart healthy.
Heart healthy, there you go.
Diced kosher pickle, capers, just to add a little bit more flavor, shallots, and then I use basil pesto. Now, you can make this up any way you want. You can use your own favorite herbs. And just stir it together. And again, you can make this the day before. You can make it a couple hours before. Save time for when your guests come over.
How long do you think that would stay if you put it in the refrigerator?
I'd recommend, not more than a week.
Okay.
All the added ingredients.
Yeah.
So, next, you want to find some good fresh fish. The fresher, the better. If it smells fishy, it's not fish. It's not fresh.
Okay. I never heard. It smells like a fish. It's not fish.
It's not fresh. It's not fresh.
Okay. All right, got it.
We've got this from one of our local fishmongers in Hickory, Dockside Seafood. Fresh. He'll trim it up for you however you want.
Oh, very good.
A little bit of olive oil, a little salt and pepper. If you're watching your salt, low salt.
Now, the majority of fish is pretty good for you, the majority of it, yeah.
It
This
is.
the mahi-mahi,
It
right?
is. Now, we're using a grill pan. What that allows is the extra oils to drain off. We are using olive oil, which is good oil. And you just want to sear it off, cook it through, take about 3 to 4 minutes per side, depending on the size of the piece. And just, you know, if you're unsure if it's done, just cut inside. A very touch of pink in the middle means it's done, because that'll continue to cook through as it sits and rests.
Oh, really? All right, you want just a light color of pink on the inside
Very
of
light
your
pink,
fish.
very
All right.
light pink.
Okay.
Instead of using like a fried corn tortilla or a flour tortilla,
here's your secret, okay?
I like to use soft corn tortillas. You don't have the oil from a fried corn tortilla, you don't have the bleached flour from a white flour tortilla, and they can be a little brittle. So the best thing to do is you get a griddle or just a pan, light oil, and just warm them up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is that softens them up so you can build the taco.
That'll stop them from being so brittle.
Yeah.
How long am I going to let that stay in the pan there?
It just takes a minute. I mean, you just pick them up. If they're not soft, you know, you can kind of tell they kind of fold up real easy without breaking when they're soft.
You did wash your hands before we came out here, right?
I did.
Just making sure. All right, we got those in there.
We got. I like to use 2 corn tortillas per taco. I think it adds a little bit more stability when you're building your taco. So we've got that. We've got some fish that I cooked up earlier. So this is, again, grilled mahi-mahi.
See, and I was never a big eater of fish, but once I tried mahi-mahi, it's not very fishy tasting. It's very good for you, so.
Yeah, fresh fish is not fishy tasting. So this is our finished pickled onions. Again, these were sweet yellow onions when we started. So again, just put them onto your taste. I like a lot. I love fresh pickled vegetables. It's a great way to preserve the vegetables also, if you're getting ready to go bad. Fresh cilantro, that's all it is. There's nothing else to it. Just put a little bit on there.
A little on there.
Yeah. I love cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you know, do something different. You can do parsley. You can mix it up however you want. This is our homemade salsa, and this is our finished basil tartar sauce right here.
I think I have a little basil tartar sauce. Can you put that on? While you do that, I'm going to tell everybody about a special deal we got going on right now. If you'd want a $10 gift card to Bistro 127, all you have to do is call Frye Regional Medical Center. The number is 828-315-3391. 828-315-3391. $10 gift card over there to Bistro 127. Very good. You guys also serve breakfast over there, too. I love this. You said that you actually switched to the trans fat shortening in your donuts to make it more heart healthy, right?
Yes, yes. It took us about 5 months to find the right product. Once it was available, we did that. We use all natural palm oil, so it's I think it's the healthiest oil you can use. It's naturally a solid at room temperature.
That's very good. Heart healthy, and now I got my mouth full of food here. I got to try.
All right, it's lunchtime.
It is. Thank you so much, Matthew. I'll try to talk. Up next, if you don't think understanding the symptoms of a heart attack can make a difference, wait until you hear the story about one area family who survived what experts call the widowmaker.
And I'm Anjanette Flowers in the newsroom, and we are following some breaking news right now. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools one step closer to hiring a superintendent. The school board has formally offered Dr. Heath Morrison the job. Right now, they're in contract negotiations with him. Now, Morrison is currently a superintendent of a district in Reno, Nevada. The CMS board will have to officially approve his hiring and his contract. That will happen at the April 24th board meeting. Coming up at noon, of course, we'll have much more on this. You can also go to our website, WCNC.com.
We're here at Walmart with Dana, a Harris Teeter shopper. We've got her last grocery receipt. We're going to go buy the exact same stuff and see the difference. Let's shop. It's a race to savings. You paid $4.29 every day at Walmart, $2.68.
Really?
Yeah, that's hot savings. You saved 98 cents.
Seriously?
$7.99 with your Vic card every day at Walmart, $7.48.
Whoa.
At Walmart, same items you spent, $109.76.
No
way.
That's a 13% savings. Bring your last grocery receipt to Walmart and compare the prices. You'll see the difference.
At Amica, we know that different people have different reasons for choosing auto insurance.
I'm always looking for a great price.
I'm a value connoisseur.
Customer service, that's my sweet spot.
It's got to be someone you trust.
No matter how you decide, call 877-35-AMICA for a free auto insurance quote. At Amica, we listen and we focus on what you need, and you could save hundreds of dollars.
Value isn't just a good price. Amica worked with me to find the best coverage, and I've always heard great things about their claim service.
If you want to be a satisfied customer, pick a company that's known for customer satisfaction.
I did my homework on Amica, and they get A++ ratings for financial strength year after year.
When I called, they found discounts I didn't even know I qualified for.
So no matter what you're looking for from auto insurance,
I wanted
A company I could count on.
To save money.
to be treated like gold.
all of the above.
Call 877-35-AMICA for your free no-obligation quote. You could save hundreds by switching to Amica. So call Amica now.
My dentist has extended hours to fit my schedule.
Why take a vacation day just to visit the dentist? At DentalWorks, we're open late, so you can visit after work. DentalWorks is an in-network provider for most insurance plans. We maximize your benefits and file your claims. Plus, for a limited time, save $100 on dentures and partials.
Why don't you make my dentist your dentist?
800-47-SMILE or dentalworks.com.
A heart attack can happen at virtually any time, at virtually any age. It doesn't discriminate. Even people who seem like they're in good health could be a victim.
That's why taking the symptoms of a heart attack seriously can literally mean the difference between life and death. Davey Sutton brings us the story of one man who knows that all too well.
August the 7th, 2011.
August 7th was a day that I will never forget.
That was a Sunday for the last 10 years or so. Been getting up and playing basketball with a group of guys before church.
He arrived home around 8:30 and just said, you know, I don't really feel good.
33-year-old Daniel Wall thought he just had another case of heartburn.
My dad had heartburn and acid reflux his whole life, and I just figured it was my turn.
Despite the pain, Daniel and his family went to church.
So after church, we picked up some lunch, came home.
When we came up the steps from the basement, I noticed that the pain had gotten significantly worse.
And then Daniel disappears into the bedroom.
I went into our bathroom and cold sweats, nauseated, laid in many different positions trying to get comfortable and just couldn't get comfortable. That went on for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes maybe.
I go in and check on Daniel, and at this point, he's very sick in the bathroom floor. Very bad gray color to his skin.
Daniel called his brother to take him to the emergency room. After getting the children settled with her sister-in-law, Erin rushed to the hospital to meet her husband.
Made it to the ER, and I was able to go back and see Daniel. At that point, his t-shirt was wringing wet. He was drenched. They were trying to take his temperature. Nothing was working right. The lady came in from the lab, wanted to do an EKG, and she asked Daniel if he could put his arms down.
But the pain in Daniel's chest was so severe, raising his hands above his head was the only way he could find relief.
It just felt like a really, really bad burn inside of my chest.
As Daniel tried to put his arms down very slowly, he looked at me and he says, "Honey, I think I'm going to pass out."
In the middle of them doing an EKG, my heart stopped.
I remember screaming very loudly to please help my husband.
The doctors shocked Daniel's chest as he lay there unconscious, and when he opened his eyes again, he still thought he had heartburn.
And she said, "No, Mr. Wall, you've had a heart attack." That was just too hard to understand. It's still hard to understand even now.
Daniel was then transferred by ambulance to Frye Regional Medical Center in Hickory.
Very quickly, the folks at Frye got me into the cath lab, and they did a heart cath on me, and they found 100% blockage of the LAD.
Dr. Schultz opened up the blocked artery with stents. This allows the blood to flow through the heart freely.
And the most amazing thing, I think, with the surgery is the second they fix and they open up your artery, you just feel so much better immediately.
Erin went in to see her husband after surgery, and as she did, a nurse said, "Congratulations, you survived the Widowmaker."
And I looked at her really stunned, and I said, "Excuse me?" "Yes, that's called the Widowmaker." And I told her, and Daniel joked. He said, well, it didn't work today.
Although still in recovery, Daniel says he started playing basketball again. He said he still can't believe at 33 years old he had a heart attack, but is convinced he survived to spread an important message.
It can happen to anybody, and to take the signs that your body gives you seriously. We as men sometimes don't like to do that.
Taking the signs seriously can be the difference between life and death. Davy Sutton, Charlotte Today.
Daniel and Aaron, thank you so much for sharing your story. There's so much to be learned. And again, it's another reminder why we decided to do this show today. Charlotte Today Has Heart, the whole hour dedicated to heart health.
Yeah, just 33 years of age, so it can happen to anybody.
Just ahead this morning, why going to the closest hospital if you're having a heart attack might not necessarily be the best choice.
Dr. Jim Peru joins us to show us or clear up some of the heart attack myths as Charlotte Today Has Heart continues.
So what makes News Channel 36 Today different in the mornings? How about access to the world with NBC's Global News Center just footsteps away? And of course, a little fun to get you going in the morning. See what's different on News Channel 36 Today.
Let it all go now.
Addicted to food or nicotine?
I can go right into that subconscious, like a hard drive on a computer, and I can put in positive emotions instead of that habit.
All new on The Doctors.
The Doctors, today at 2 on News Channel 36.
I work at the cable company, and I get to wear a hard hat. A question already.
My mom says cable can't bundle cell phones.
You mean wireless voice service? Nobody does that.
Mom says AT&T does, so...
Call and get UVerse TV, internet, and home phone for just $89 a month. That's a great bundle deal. Get more bundle choices than cable. You can even choose to add wireless voice. Switch and get a total home DVR included.
I bring TV to you.
Mr. Roy, with UVerse TV, you can record up to 4 shows at once on a single DVR and play them back on any TV.
Miss Jones has UVerse.
Call and get our triple play for just $89 a month. A great bundle deal. Switch and get a total home DVR included.
And UVerse has more HD channels than cable, too. I want AT&T.
Who wants to talk to a fireman?
I do.
Okay.
Choose the bundle that fits your life.
At Food Lion, we're committed to finding more ways to help you save. And as you can see, we've lowered prices on fresh produce.
Our customers love the savings.
That's really great. We've also lowered prices on My Essentials, the items customers buy most week in and week out. So which one tops your list?
The strawberry yogurt's my favorite.
I don't think you're the only one. Fresh produce and My Essentials. 2 more ways we're working together at Food Lion to help you save.
Welcome back to Charlotte Today Has Heart. Coming up, the 5 best foods to keep your heart healthy and what you should do if someone is having a heart attack.
When you take a topic as big as heart disease, there's bound to be misinformation floating around. So we want to take a few minutes to clear up some of the myths surrounding heart attacks.
Dr. Jim Peru is a cardiovascular surgeon at Frye Regional Medical Center. He joins us to clear up some of the confusion. Thank you for being here, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's start with this very important topic, obviously heart disease. Someone has a heart attack. Now, after they have a heart attack, talk about exercise afterwards, because some people are afraid that their heart's not able to handle exercise.
No, exercise is really important after a heart attack. It does a lot of great things for you. It strengthens the heart, it lowers the risk of a second heart attack, it decreases the amount of medications you require after a heart attack. It's really, really important. You know, the first few weeks, though, should be done in a supervised setting, like a cardiac rehab program, especially if you've never exercised before. But after that, you know, you're free to exercise on your own. It's really good for you.
Okay, so initially after a heart attack, though, again, in moderation and under supervision.
Under supervision.
Okay. If you have a heart attack, can any hospital handle your treatment? Or should you go to the nearest facility?
You know, if you're really having a heart attack, and it's a real thing, call 911, let the paramedics take you to the closest hospital. It's important that you get to any facility. Any facility is better than none. But if your problem is accelerating angina, you think you've got heart disease coming on and maybe you want to get checked out or something, you're probably better off going to a facility that has a complete range of cardiac services available, including open heart surgery. You know, there are a lot of hospitals that offer cardiac catheterizations and workups without on-site cardiac surgical backup. And if something goes wrong, you're kind of out of luck, so it's a little bit scary. personally, I'd want to have a hospital that had a full range of services available.
Okay. After you have a heart attack, sex, the love life in the bedroom, is it safe? Is it okay? Or?
Sure,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and it's important too. From a cardiovascular standpoint, sexual activity is about mild to moderate exercise. It's about the equivalent of climbing a flight of stairs. So just like a exercise program after a heart attack, if you can climb a flight of stairs, you're good to go. Now, a couple of caveats. If you get chest pain, shortness of breath, palpitations, stop. If they don't go away in a couple minutes, call 911. Risk is very low. Only about 1% of heart attacks occur during sexual activity. And of course, if you're taking any kind of erectile dysfunction drugs like Cialis or Viagra or Levitra, make sure you clear that with your physician first.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about heart disease, or one of the biggest myths out there?
We saw that already. I mean, probably the biggest myth is that it only affects older people, and it doesn't. I mean, especially people, especially now that obesity is such a problem and diabetes is such a problem in the younger age groups, we're seeing heart disease affect people younger and younger, which is the opposite of what you'd expect.
Don't you think that's why, Doctor, it's so important for people to know their numbers? Because I hear these stories, and that's kind of what started this whole show. I thought, we should do a whole show about heart disease, because you hear these stories like we heard with Daniel, 33 years old, in good health, thinks he's in good health, it seems to be in good shape, feels okay, and they have heart attacks. Shouldn't we know our numbers? We need to know what our blood pressure is. We need to know what our cholesterol level is. Absolutely. Blood pressure, the silent killer. Cholesterol, keep it below 200. But the biggest thing is lead a healthy lifestyle. Exercise, proper diet, no smoking, which is probably the biggest issue. The things we can modify, we need to modify and lower our risk as much as possible.
Obviously, the only thing we can't change is genetics.
Exactly.
Yeah, genetics won't have the
But there's so much that you do have control over that. Why wouldn't you love yourself well enough to really take control of those things?
Right, and you feel better too. It's a higher quality of life.
It's true. Dr. Pruitt, thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your time today. It's no myth that a healthy diet, as we've mentioned, can go a long way in the fight against heart disease.
Next on Charlotte Today, the 5 best foods to keep you heart healthy.
You never know what's going to happen on Charlotte Today. Don't miss out. Watch it live or anytime on your DVR.
Get the internet speed you need for a whole year for a whole lot less. Just $14.99 a month with Frontier high-speed internet. Frontier gives your home a dedicated connection that's consistently fast with any device from anywhere in your home. Call 1-888-213-4879 and get Frontier high-speed internet for just $14.99 a month for 12 months. Save up to $180 for 1 year. Experience super fast download speeds, catch exclusive live sports, share photos in a flash, shop, check emails, and more. All backed by our Here For You guarantee for top customer service, anytime and every time. Speed up your internet with Frontier high-speed internet. Now at one of our lowest prices of the year, just $14.99 a month for 12 months. Don't miss this limited time offer. Save up to $180. Call 1-888-213-4879 today.
Waiting and waiting. It's just not happening.
My insides feel like they are tied up in knots, and it's been like this for over 6 months.
I feel overly full and uncomfortable.
If you are 18 to 75 and have experienced symptoms of constipation for over 6 months, you may qualify for a research study testing an investigational medication for chronic constipation. Qualified participants will receive study-related exams and study medication at no charge. Call 1-855-242-0920.
Tired of calls, levies, and liens from the IRS or hiring others who don't get the job done? Call Wall & Associates and you'll never talk to the IRS again. We have the professionals who know how to solve tax problems. If you owe money to the IRS, your tax problems are not going away by themselves. Call Wall & Associates right now to speak with a professional tax relief agent.
Call Wall & Associates now at 704-288-3935.
Fact: high cholesterol puts you at risk for heart disease.
Here's an even scarier fact. Approximately 1 in every 6 adults in the U.S. has high cholesterol.
The good news is there are steps you can take to reduce your risk, and one of those includes a healthy diet. Sarah Paul is a nurse practitioner at Frye Regional Medical Center. She joins us now with the best 5 heart-healthy food. Sarah, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to have you here. These are really great foods that we should all be incorporating into our diets that you're going to show us, okay?
Correct. These are some of them. I mean, there are other heart-healthy foods, but these are certainly 5 of the top ones.
Okay.
What are we going to start with?
So we're going to start with the berries. Berries are high in antioxidants. Now, you hear a lot about antioxidants. Oxidation is a process, a chemical reaction in the body that can damage the cells. So foods that are high in antioxidants can help prevent disease and help your body. So berries are very high in antioxidants and may increase your good cholesterol and help lower blood pressure.
Very good.
And they're delicious, too.
And they're delicious.
To really get the benefits, how many servings should you be having a day, a week?
For fruits and vegetables, we say about 5, probably 4 to 5 servings per day, at least 3 maybe.
Okay.
Would this be an example of a serving right here? An idea, or just like a handful?
A handful.
Okay.
That's too much, yes.
Yeah, well, it depends on who you're serving, I guess.
Okay, all right.
All right, so nuts are next. Specifically, almonds and walnuts are very good for you. They contain a lot of omega-3 fatty acids and plant sterols. I hope you don't mind I'm using some notes.
I mind a lot. No, no, it's completely fine. It's a lot of information.
Okay, so nuts, the plant sterols in the almonds decrease the absorption of cholesterol from your diet, and also the unsaturated oils that are in the nuts cause the liver to make less of the bad cholesterol, LDL, and more of the good cholesterol, HDL.
These are, a handful of almonds is a great snack. You just want to make sure you don't eat too many of them because there's a lot of fat, but like a quarter cup is a serving.
Right. Well, again, the handful, and avoiding maybe the salted nuts, probably you don't need the salt.
Right.
And they're actually good for your cholesterol. Well, you would think that they're bad, but they're not, because their nuts are good. Okay.
They're very good for your cholesterol.
Well, let me tell you, there was a study where people ate 22 almonds and other heart-healthy foods, and they found that it lowered their cholesterol as well as lovastatin, which is a cholesterol drug. So eat your
Get
almonds.
the raw, unsalted almonds,
Yes.
though, again.
Not chocolate covered.
No.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, next is fish that is high in omega-3 fatty acids, such as salmon, as we have here. Wait, is that salmon? That's
yes,
salmon.
It is. That's salmon.
Yes. Tuna, mackerel, sardines, halibut, and herring. These are good fats. They lower the triglycerides and improve the good cholesterols, HDL. So,
about how many times a week would you suggest that we eat fish, again, to reap the benefits?
At least 2 to 3 times a week.
It's great. There's so many options, too, and you get fresh fish, wild-caught, not farm-raised, in my opinion. But if you do that, too, it can really make a difference.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned chocolate. We mentioned chocolate a moment ago. Chocolate and red wine, we've heard those things, that they can be good for your heart.
Okay. Yes.
True, not true?
Well, true in a way.
Okay.
To a degree. So the community has latched onto this, the media, they want to put this into a health food category, but I think we're not quite at the health food category yet.
Okay.
But red wine does have antioxidants and flavonols. Also, alcohol may increase the good cholesterol in your body. There have been some studies that people who drink 1 to 2 drinks a day actually have less heart disease. Now, you have to be careful that you limit it to 1 to 2 drinks per day. So, like a 12-ounce beer is a serving, or 4 ounces of wine. So,
I think you're right, though, Sarah. I think people want to latch onto that because they hear you say, ooh, red wine, chocolate, good for my heart.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's a free-for-all and you just get to indulge. And
that's right. And, of course, too much wine is not good for you and too much chocolate is not good for you. So a little bit is okay. And chocolate also has antioxidants and flavonols that might lower blood pressure and decrease inflammation.
Just a little bit.
So, a little bit.
Getting
Dark
back
chocolate.
to other heart-healthy foods, whole grains.
Whole grains. Okay, so this is quinoa. Quinoa, all right. Quinoa is high in protein, high in fiber. It's a very good whole grain. It balances your blood sugar, keeps you full longer, and may lower blood pressure by relaxing your smooth muscles. But other good whole grains are like whole grain breads and whole grain rice, oatmeal. Other good whole grains.
And some of the ones I think we're probably aware of, we've heard our entire lives, vegetables.
Yes, fruits and vegetables, actually. So research has shown that people who eat more fruits and vegetables have a lower risk of heart disease. And also that includes stroke and heart attack. So in one study, the participants ate greater than 10 servings of fruits and vegetables per day, but generally we recommend 5 or more per day.
Good.
It's
Can I add, potatoes are not included in that, so French fries don't count as a healthy fruit and vegetable. Sorry.
Nope, they don't. A great way, I think, to incorporate more vegetables into your diet, if you just make a great big spinach salad as a side to whatever it is that you're eating and put some almonds on it, it's a great way to get some of those foods into your diet without trying too hard, just as a side.
Even berries on top.
Yes.
Without the bacon, maybe.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. Leave
Toss them
off the
all in there.
bacon and the ranch and the cheddar and all that.
Ruining all my fun, Sarah. You're ruining all my fun.
It's my job.
You can really retrain your taste buds, though, I think. That's what we can wean you off this Diet Coke thing.
Oh, I know.
We can do it.
But you know, we all know CPR, so you're in good hands.
Okay, I'm good here. As long as I'm in the studio, I'm here. I'm good.
Sarah Paul, Frye Regional Medical Center, thank you so much.
Thank
we
you for having
appreciate it. Coming up next, what to do if someone is having a heart attack. Should they sit up? Should they lie down? A doctor offers step-by-step advice.
Plus, find out about changes in CPR guidelines when Charlotte Today Has Heart continues.
Crisis hits.
We continued with making the payments. He continued to get more sick, which has left him legally blind.
Because of health issues, you couldn't pay the loan.
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy, all new today at 3.
Permanent disability. No way to work. You're denied by Social Security. Feeling helpless? Call the law offices of Michael A. DeMeo. If you've applied for your Social Security disability benefits and have been denied, don't give up. We're experienced in Social Security disability and can ease your mind and help get you approved. The law offices of Michael A. DeMeo. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
It's time to say good morning to a tasty breakfast from Subway restaurants. For just $1.75, you can start your day deliciously with a 3-inch morning flatbread sandwich. Just choose from our egg and cheese or Black Forest ham egg and cheese sandwiches.
Instead, try the new Subway Smokehouse Barbecue Chicken. Big barbecue taste, 6 grams of fat. Subway, eat fresh.
Tonight, The Office is new.
You're not the manager.
With an epic meltdown where the Andy hits the fan.
There's a lot coming up all at once. Dad, I'm taller than you.
New Office followed by the big return of Parks and Rec.
Non-stop thrill ride.
Tonight, here on NBC.
Show me your hand.
It was blood money.
The next Jeopardy may leave you cultured.
That's right. She got married, then engaged.
Yes, sir.
And you're still together?
You betcha.
Sounds like Sarah Palin.
Catch the next Jeopardy!
Tonight at 7 on News Channel 36.
Every year, 785,000 Americans have a heart attack. Would you know what to do if someone you love was having a heart attack? Joining us now is Dr. Danielle Alexander and nurse April Traxler. They're from Frye Regional Medical Center with some practical advice for handling what could be a terribly frightening situation. Thanks to both of you for being here. We appreciate it. Dr. Alexander, let's start with you. The guidelines for bystander CPR have really changed. We don't do mouth-to-mouth anymore, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
For bystander CPR, the American Heart Association has really looked at trying to save as many people out there as possible, and they wanted to partly simplify this process. And what they found was that a lot of people were reluctant to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation in a bystander situation. So we've really tried to encourage the first basics, which are to call 911 and get help as soon as you can for advanced care. And number 2, to start compressions as soon as you can. And if you want to avoid the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, that's fine. But we like to emphasize the chest compressions as really the primary goal for bystander CPR.
Okay, so that's the key component. April, what are some things to remember about the compression-only CPR?
Some of the biggest things is that people tend to overanalyze the situation and not activate the 911 system immediately. So when they witness someone collapse, and many times it is family, because most out-of-hospital cardiac arrests are very residentially, so this could be in our own homes. So when you witness the person collapse and they're not responding to you, immediately call 911. The next thing is when you're on your cell phone, put it on speakerphone, because that dispatcher is going to talk you through this. So
Put it on speakerphone. That's a good one, so that you're not doing all of this. Put it on speakerphone. Yes.
The second thing is when you're at the person, if they're on the couch or the bed, you need to get them to a hard surface. So immediately pull them to the floor.
Okay.
And the thing is, you need to do this very quickly because the goal is to start compressions as soon as the patient is not responding.
And again, get them to the floor, a hard surface, not a sofa, not a bed.
Correct.
Okay.
It's got to be a hard surface. So once we pull them to the floor, bare their chest if you can, so you can see where their chest is. The heels of your hand, or the heel of one hand, needs to go in the center part of the chest. We tell people to focus between the nipple line and grip their hands together. When they have pulled the patient to the floor and they're over top of them, lock your elbows and push hard and fast. And as you're standing over the person, like with these mannequins here, and I'll show you.
Okay.
Once you get them to the floor, proper hand placement between the nipple lines or in the center of the chest, we're going to push hard and fast. And if you tighten your elbows and put your shoulders over the person's chest, you get the most maximum compression.
And April has already called 911, and rescuers are on their way. If there's a center where you're at where an automatic external defibrillator is present, sometimes they're in the wall at major institutions like stadiums or airports, that should be obtained as soon as possible and placed on the patient per the directions of the device.
Okay, very good. Do you mind demonstrating again? I just want to make sure that everybody gets this and remembers this. You said that sometimes we overanalyze.
Sometimes we want to try to wake mama up. Oh, it's mama's blood sugar. Don't take the time to do that. Immediately call 911 because you want them coming to you as soon as possible, because if they need that defibrillator device to shock the heart out of that rhythm and to get them back, you need it as soon as possible.
Okay, and if you can show us again the compressions, are you looking for a rhythm?
I kind of go 1 and 2 and 3 and, but the old Staying Alive song is one that many people.
Listen to me. On the Today Show one time, Matt Lauer interviewed somebody and they were showing how to do CPR. And the person doing it said, staying alive, staying alive, it went to the beat of the song. And I think that that's something that everybody can remember, and it's just easy to recall.
And the second thing is try to limit stopping of those compressions. When those first responders come into your home, you keep doing those compressions till they're ready to take over for you.
So when the first responders get to your house or wherever it is that you were with the patient, don't stop because they're there. Keep going until somebody else takes over.
They're ready to switch off, because you need to keep the blood circulating through the body with as much least interruption as possible.
Okay. Dr. Alexander, talk about how important this is. I mean, effective CPR really can save a patient's life.
We've found that out of hospital arrests, people who have sudden cardiac arrest outside may have less than a 10% chance of survival without prompt intervention, including activating the emergency medical system, starting CPR. So what we want to do is make sure that we can increase their opportunity to have meaningful survival after cardiac arrest. That can increase by at least 2 to 3-fold if appropriate CPR is started and emergency medical services are alerted for immediate response.
Wow. April, do you think everybody should take a class, or is this knowledge enough to kind of get you through a critical time?
For bystanders, we go out and do community events, meet at Oktoberfest and those kind of things, take the mannequins and just pull people in and say, come practice on this. Because you don't want to have to do this the first time on someone you know and be very nervous. You want to know where proper hand placement is that. American Heart Association and Red Cross still do the full class, but when you're out in the field or out at Walmart, you may not have a mask and these kind of things. So compression-only CPR is the goal, because you have oxygen on those red blood cells. If you can just keep it circulating to the brain and the heart, it can make a difference in that patient's outcome post-arrest.
Again, thank you so much. Again, lock the elbows, nipple line, and just keep pressing. Got it. We can do that, right? April, as you continue to work on that poor little guy right there, Dr. Alexander, I want to mention that Frye recently became a chest pain center. What does that mean?
A chest pain center, so we have really focused on teamwork in terms of hospitals and trying to take care of patients with heart attacks. And as we heard about Daniel's story, he had a cardiac arrest when he came into the hospital. And so we've taken a number of centers throughout the United States and have sought accreditation. And that is a teamwork process. It comes from the nurses, the physicians, the emergency medical services, all of the staff in the hospital come together to form a team to take care of patients that suffer cardiac arrest or have heart attacks. And we have special accreditation bodies in the United States that look and grade us on how we accomplish these goals. And that's what Frye has become an accredited chest pain center, so that all of us sort of work together to improve outcomes when patients have heart disease.
That is really great. Congratulations. And we are so fortunate to have Frye here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really, we appreciate your time. Dr. Alexander, April, thank you so much. And thanks to these guys, too.
Yeah.
Today, more Charlotte Today right after a quick break. Also, a reminder that Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools have made a formal offer to a candidate for superintendent. The details are coming up on News Channel 36 at noon.
Your Charlotte Knights are home this weekend with fireworks on Saturday. For tickets and game times, log on to charlotteknights.com. Charlotte Knights. Baseball fans want it. No experience necessary.
Go ahead. Go for the green. Take the short drive to Bob Mayberry Hyundai. Bob has more green than anybody. Get yours with the 2012 North American Car of the Year, the Hyundai Elantra. Lease a 2012 Elantra GLS for only $139 a month and enjoy up to 47 MPGs on the highway. Or lease a 2012 Santa Fe GLS for only $197 a month. Bob Mayberry Hyundai. Only a short drive from I-485.
Bob Mayberry Hyundai. Get on the highway. Just a short drive from I-485.
Folks, in the U.S., termites do more than $5 billion worth of damage to homes and businesses each year. That's more than all fire, wind, and water damage combined. At Killingsworth, our canine scent detection team is just one of the many technologies that we use to make sure your home stays damage-free. So when it comes to termites, just make sure you get your Killingsworth.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
It's Papa John's new Buffalo Chicken Pizza. Get a large for only $10, featuring all white chicken. That's Papa John's quality for just $10. Call or click papajohns.com.
Furniture and set decor by Black Lion, Charlotte's headquarters for home furnishings, gifts, and more.
I think that was a very good show.
Learned a lot today. Learned a lot.
Yes. I'm hoping lots of people DVR this if they weren't home to be able to watch it and spreading the word.
Watch it with your friends again if you DVR'd it, and give the information to your friends and your loved ones and everybody.
Our sincerest thanks to the good folks at Frye Regional Medical Center in Hickory. They're all standing right there. Thank you. A round of applause to all of them. Such a great staff, and I just think it was really life-saving, important information.
I'll be honest, though, I kept walking off over the set where they were all sitting back there with all my Diet Coke problems, and they kept looking at me like this. No Diet Coke.
They were judging you.
Yes. They were actually, they're very nice people, but judging my Diet Coke problems is what they were doing. No, fantastic information today. Big thank you to Frye.
Really good. Again, if there's anything that you'd like to see again, it will all be on our website, wcnc.com/Charlotte Today. Again, our thanks to them. Charlotte Today has heart. We hope you learned a little something. Coming up tomorrow morning on Charlotte Today, irises. We're talking about irises. They're in bloom. We'll show you how to plant them, how to care for them, all of that. Allison, what else comes up tomorrow? I forgot. The Carolina connection to the new movie Think Like a Man.
Oh, the Tyler Perry movie.
No.
No?
Steve Harvey.
Oh, Steve Harvey. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tyler. I messed up.
www.zipit.com. When will you learn? Keep it here for the news at noon, everybody.